Former GOP aide, 26-year-old Natalie Green, staged an anti-Trump and anti-conservative hate hoax on herself. This makes no sense, and I have so many questions. Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about 26-year-old Natalie Green, a former staffer for Republican Jeff Van Drew from New Jersey, allegedly staging an anti-Trump and anti-conservative and anti-Jeff Van Drew hate hoax on herself. What she did, again, allegedly, from what I'm reading, is pay someone $500 to literally cut her skin up in its messages and also just straight lines, making it look like someone attacked her viciously. That was the goal, but the lines are so clean and crisp. Obviously, this was not done while she was trying to fight back. This was done voluntarily. Now, there are so many questions. Why would she do this? Right when I saw it, I thought Trump derangement syndrome. But then I thought about it again for another second. I'm like, okay, it doesn't make any sense. Why would a conservative, why would someone who worked for Jeff Van Drew stage an anti-Trump, anti-conservative attack on themselves? If you got Trump derangement syndrome, you wouldn't make it seem like Trump supporters attacked you for being liberal, not that you got attacked for being conservative by liberals. It doesn't make any sense. So TDS, I'm gonna throw that away. Now we have more questions and answers. I think I know what's going on here. Y'all may or may not know where I'm gonna go. But first, let's get to a video. And if you're squeamish, you got a weak stomach, be warned, we will see some crazy images, but I'll link to this video and the article and everything else in the description. If you're on IG, Facebook, etc., visit the link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
A former New Jersey congressional aide allegedly paid a fetish artist to mutilate her body, had an accomplice scrawl "Trump whore" on her stomach, and then...
Let's pause for a second. All that? Really? You did all of that? For what, though? We're going to get to it, but you can see what's going on here. They scrawled that with a knife or a blade or something, and I don't see how this does not leave permanent scarring. You did all that for what?
Falsely claimed she was violently attacked, according to shocking new court documents. Natalie...
So look, so they found her on the side of the road like that, zip tied, the hog tied, and everything else. That's how they found her.
New court documents. Natalie Green was arrested Wednesday and charged with masterminding the violent bogus ambush. Here's everything you need to know about what prosecutors say was all a sick political stunt. According to Green's story, she was violently attacked at Egg Harbor Township Nature Reserve in New Jersey on the night of July 23rd. Prosecutors said the accused fraudster claimed 3 gun-wielding men approached her and a friend on the trail around 10:36 p.m. before threatening to shoot her and striking her in the head. The 26-year-old suspect said the fictitious attackers then hog-tied her with zip ties, held her down while slashing her face and body, and etched political slurs onto her stomach, all because of her job, the complaint said. Green, a Rutgers...
Let's go back a little bit because it didn't quite say it. Maybe they're going to say it, but you can see what it said about Trump. And another one was Jeff Van Drew, who she worked for at one point, is racist. So she had both of those messages scrawled on her body voluntarily, allegedly.
The complaint said. Green, a Rutgers law student, worked for Republican Representative Jeff Van Drew at the time. She joined the congressman's team part-time in 2022 and later served as his constituent advocate. Green's accomplice frantically called police, claiming she had been singled out by name and violently assaulted, according to the complaint. Officers found the accused con artist in a wooded area just off the trail. Hands and feet bound together, her shirt pulled over her head, and the words "Trump whore" and "Van Drew is a racist" scribbled in black marker on her horrifically scarred body.
Okay, so that was just black marker. Oh, okay. So that right there was not part of the scrawling, but we saw the actual scrawling, the body modification. We saw that earlier.
She screamed that one of her attackers had a gun. Horrific photos in the complaint show Green with deep, grisly cuts on her body and face. But according to prosecutors, the story just wasn't adding up. They say Green was taken to a hospital where she and her accomplice gave police conflicting accounts of what happened and provided faulty descriptions of the phantom assailants. Black zip ties and duct tape were also found in Green's Maserati the night of the disturbing alleged scheme. And
Pause. Did you hear that? Not that they found the zip ties in their car. Okay. I mean, that's pretty much. And then in the actual complaint, whatever, from the federal government, it said that they had found a search on their phone that said zip ties near me. I cannot make this stuff up. You can read it. I'm going to put it on the website so you can read it for yourself. Don't take my word for it. Read it straight from the federal government themselves. But what I wanted you to notice was that she had a Maserati. Now, what do you do for a living to be able to afford a Maserati? At one point, you were an intern for Jeff Van Drew. You part of his staff. I don't think staffers for congressmen make Maserati money. So either you got rich parents or something else is going on, and we're going to get to that in a minute.
Federal officials said her unidentified sidekick searched zip ties near me on their phone 2 days earlier and went to a Ventnor Dollar General to pick them up. Perhaps most disturbing, 2 days before the alleged phony assault, Green is being accused of having driven to Pennsylvania to pay $500 to a body modification artist she found on Instagram to deliberately carve gruesome wounds into her face, neck, chest, back, and shoulders with a scalpel. Green was charged with conspiracy to convey false statements and hoaxes and making false statements to federal law enforcement. She was arraigned Wednesday in federal court and released on a $200,000 unsecured bond. Green could spend up to a decade behind bars if convicted on both charges.
Now, I'm glad that the guy that did the modification to her body got paid, because if he didn't get paid, she might have tried to say that he did that against her will. So I'm glad that the dude got paid. Okay, now, obviously, I wouldn't do nothing like that to myself, and I don't think you guys should either, but if you want to do it, knock yourself out, okay? Now, there's more. We got to get to this, okay? So we see what's going on. That's her right there, okay? Nice and happy, happier times, and then this is her after the whole situation, and you can see right there where it says she paid $500 to deliberately carve the stuff in her face, neck, back, shoulders with a scalpel, okay? Now, one thing I want to talk about is the Maserati, Jeff Van Drew, and also I read that there was a boyfriend. I read that there was a cop boyfriend in the town where she got found. And the Maserati, I'm thinking maybe she might have been a sugar baby to Jeff Van Drew. Jeff Van Drew been married for a long time, since 1974. So he's been married for quite a while. And here you got this young, pretty girl. Okay, matter of fact, let's look at the real picture. Okay, that's the LinkedIn photo right there. Okay, hire me, yay, just graduated. That's the, okay, now let's go to this right here. Okay, aside from that, there we go. Hey, already see what's going on here. You're trying to be a hot girl. I see your dress, the cleavage showing, the nice, what's that, the Gucci purse? I'm sure that's costing quite a bit of money. You got all the accoutrements of a sugar baby. You got the Maserati. How are you able to afford that? You know what I think happened? Let me come back so you can see me clearly. What I think happened is Jeff Van Drew maybe was giving you a little extra money, maybe taking care of you, maybe giving you, more than what an intern would get. And again, this is just my opinion. I don't know nothing. I don't know Jeff Van Drew. I don't know her. I don't know nobody. I'm just giving my opinion based upon what I'm looking at. So Jeff Van Drew might have been taking care of her a little bit more than normal, more than your regular pay for an intern. But he cuts her off. Maybe the wife finds out. Maybe he's done with her, wants to move on. He cuts her off. But I got a Maserati. Who's going to pay for the Maserati? Okay. I mean, you got to keep making these payments. I got to look good for the galas and the balls. I got to look good for that. I got to be able to be out here in New York and be one of the hot girls. Okay, I have to be that. You going to cut me off cold turkey? Watch this. What I'm going to do is stage an anti-conservative attack on myself. I could kill two birds with one stone. If I got a cop boyfriend in the town where they found me, he could come save me, be the hero. So that'd bode well for him. And Jeff Van Drew might feel guilty because they wrote Jeff Van Drew's a racist and Trump's you see all of that and you're going to feel guilty and take me back and continue to finance me. That's what it sounds like. I mean, maybe I'm off. It kind of sounds like Shannon Sharp. It was the same situation, in my humble opinion, where Shannon had a young sugar baby, cuts her off, and she went to Vegas from California with him. And Now she's just kind of scrambling. Okay, you want to play like that? Well, watch this. Now you're going to pay $15, $20, $25 million. Jeff Van Drew, okay, you want to cut me off? Well, I'm going to make you take me back. Again, I'm just speculating. I don't know nothing. But I'm going to ask you guys as I close, why would she do this? What is the purpose? What is the reason? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make, because, and you know, some are going to say, well, Jeff Van Drew at one point was a Democrat. Well, Jeff Van Drew was a Democrat before she came on board. Jeff Van Drew became a Republican in 2020. She came on board in 2022. So for the entire time of her working with Jeff Van Drew or for him or whatever, he was a conservative Republican. So why would you stage an anti-Trump attack on yourself? The logic isn't really adding up. But then when I see her and I hear her age, okay, and she might have been, what, 23? What? Okay, so it was 2022 when she came on board. So she was probably about 22, 23 years old when she first got with him. Young girl, straight out of college, trying to be pretty, trying to be living the Instagram lifestyle. Okay, now I got a sugar daddy. Okay, now you cut me off. Now what do I do? I'm scrambling. I'm 25 years old. I'm a moron. I don't know what's going on. Okay, let me do this. To me, that's the only explanation that makes any sense. Now, maybe y'all have a different point of view. Maybe you think something different's going on. Maybe the boyfriend got something to do with it. I don't know. But I think what I said makes the most sense, because a political stunt, I don't see it as a thing that's trying to attack Trump or Jeff Van Drew politically. I see it as a thing for her to get attention for herself, whether it's to try and make the boyfriend pay attention or make the boyfriend feel more important, or if it's to get Jeff Van Drew's attention, or a combination of both. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your opinion about this hate hoax? You got this young lady paying somebody $500, driving from New Jersey to Philadelphia. It might not be that far. You might be right there. But you driving somewhere, somebody you found on Instagram, to carve that on you on purpose. Why would you do that? Why? And then trying to make it be about an anti-Trump attack when you're conservative, when you work for a Republican. The part where they drew the magic marker about Jeff Van Drew, to me, it solidifies that it was probably about him, probably wanting to get back in his good graces, because again, maybe he cut her off. Maybe he didn't want to deal with her anymore. She panicking. She got all these things. She got the nice dresses, the Gucci purse, the Maserati car. I want to keep my lifestyle going. I don't want to downgrade. I don't want to lose my property wherever I live at, my little condo in the sky. I want you to take me back. That's what it sounds like to me, but maybe I'm wrong. Whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.